Hello and welcome to Skywalker Yoga and Fitness. My name is Luke and this is your weekly slow flow class. If you have any blocks or a yoga strap available to you, they may come in handy during practice, but you don't actually need any props. I'll demonstrate with a couple of them throughout, but again, have them nearby if you want to have them accessible to you during your practice today. As always, if anything I offer does not feel good in your body, or you feel like you need to modify, feel free to do so. There are no hard rules. This is your time to practice, so anything that I offer is just a suggestion. It's just what I'm feeling for today. So take whatever you need to get the most out of your practice as we move through today. All that being said, that's my spiel. We're going to start in child's pose today. So make your way onto your hands and knees first. And bring your big toes together either way. Wrists stacked below the shoulders to start. And then your knees can either stay together or you can step them out to the sides if you want to work into the hips a little bit here too. Either way, send your hips back to your heels. Let your forehead come down to the mat. Extend the arms long overhead. And just use a little bit of light pressure through the palms to really shift your hips back toward your heels. Take a few nice, smooth, deep breaths here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just grounding yourself on your mat, grounding yourself into your practice. Settling into your space, settling into the present moment, and allowing yourself this next hour to be fully present. Start to come into that headspace of the present moment by focusing on your breath. Just feeling the expansion through the back and the sides of the body as you inhale through the nose. Feel where the body wants to soften and release on the exhale. Where can you let go of a little bit of tension? And just allow the muscles to relax. Allow them to hang heavy here for a few moments. Long, smooth inhales through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And on your next inhale, start by sending that breath all the way down to your tailbone. And let that breath fill up through the lower back first, traveling up and expanding through the middle back, all the way up to the shoulder blades and the space in between. And as you release, let the chest drop down to the floor first, upper back releases first, and follow that breath back down, all the way down through the tummy and the lower back. Filling up from the bottom to the top on the inhale. Exhaling from the top down. Good. Continue following that 3-part breath at your own pace. Becoming a little more still, a little more relaxed with each cycle of breath. few more cycles of this 3-part breath here. Stirga Pranayama. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, you can do so now. Take one more full breath in through the nose. And a big sigh out. On your next inhale, start to rise up to a tabletop position. You can keep the eyes closed for now if you'd like to. Otherwise, allow them to take on a little bit of light. Then get the knees stacked directly below the hips, wrists directly below the shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide, stretching out through the palms. Grip the mat with those 3 middle fingers so that the tops of your palms slightly lift up. Then we're going to start to move through a few cycles of cat-cow here. So inhaling to drop the belly, tailbone, chest, and gaze, come up. Exhaling to press through the hands, chin to chest, tailbone under, around the spine up. Inhale to drop the belly. Exhale around the spine. Good. Each inhale, try to relax the belly in the front of the body, even though we're stretching it out. Each exhale, try to hook that belly button into the spine. Really feel the lift through the rib cage here. Continue moving with your breath, keeping a nice, slow, even pace. Inhaling to cow. Exhaling to cat. Some organic movement that's calling to you in this moment. You can move with that here. Maybe it's inhaling to cow and then exhaling back to a child's pose. Moving between those two. Maybe you're taking some nice hip circles to each side. So whatever you feel like your body needs this morning, this afternoon, whatever time you're practicing. More cycles of breath to even out your movement if you're working on one side at a time. Come back to center, maybe give your head a few circles in each direction, a couple side to sides, and yes and no's. Shake out any kind of tension in the neck. And then come back to a neutral spine in a tabletop position, limbs stacked on top of each other. Keep the left hand grounded. On an inhale, sweep your right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale to bring it down and thread below the left arm, lowering that shoulder toward the mat, but not all the way down. Inhale to sweep it back up. Exhale it down and through. One more time all the way through, and then we'll lower and hold. Inhale back up. Exhale down, thread it through, lower and hold. Shoulder and head come to the mat. Your left hand can stay where it is. You can take a half bind if you'd like to, or maybe creep those fingers out overhead toward the right corner of your mat. Just pushing through that hand to deepen your twist slightly here. Start to walk your left hand back beside your face. On an inhale, sweep that arm back up to the ceiling, right arm. Exhale the right hand down to the mat. Ground out through the right hand this time. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale down and thread it through. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more cycle through. Inhale up. Exhale down, lower and hold this time. Take whichever arm variation with your right as you did with your left. Even out the two sides. Maybe this side feels a little different to you. Just take note of that. It doesn't mean anything in particular. Start to walk that right hand back beside your face. On an inhale, press through the right hand, sweep the left arm up. Exhale the left hand down to the mat. Tuck your toes under. Walk your hands forward and handprint. Spread those fingers nice and wide and grip your mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale the hips up and back to downward facing dog. And take a few seconds here to walk out your dog. Shift the hips side to side. Again, you can shake the head yes and no a few times. Take whatever movement here you need to stretch out your calves and hamstrings. Stretching out through the shoulders and the armpits. And then come to a place of stillness. Settling into your downward facing dog for a few breaths here. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. On your next inhale, float forward to a tall plank position. Let your shoulders shift forward of your wrists slightly. As you exhale, bend the elbows back, let them brush your rib cage and lower all the way down to the floor. Forehead comes down to the mat, hands stay grounded just below the shoulders. Bring your feet together, press the tops of your feet into the mat to lift the knees, engage the legs, squeeze the butt. Pull your elbows toward each other behind the body. On an inhale, peel your chest and shoulders up off the mat, taking your gaze slightly forward. Exhale to roll it back down. 2 more cycles of baby cobra. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhale. Exhale. Walk your hands back until your wrists are stacked below the elbows. On an inhale, press through the hands and feet this time. Straighten the arms so you can keep the hips grounded or lift for upward facing dog. Squeeze the butt to protect the lower back here. Take 1 more breath in. Exhale the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look between the hands, and then take a walk to the front of your mat, landing in a forward fold. Feet should be about 2 fists width apart from each other, about hip width distance. Spread the toes nice and wide. Grip down through the 3 corners of the feet. And just let your upper body hang toward the floor, soft bend in the knees. You can do a little swaying side to side here, just lengthening out through the spine and the muscles of the back. Smooth inhales and exhales here. See if you can find some release of tension through the hamstrings and the back body. Bring your fingertips to the floor if they can reach. Take an inhale, bend your knees enough that your belly connects with your thighs, and then you can hold on to the back of your calves here if you'd like to. On an exhale, we're going to extend the hips back up slowly, maintaining that connection between the belly and thighs. Only extend the legs as much as you can while keeping that connection. Inhale to rebend the knees, reconnect to the belly. Exhale to send it back up. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Take 2 more cycles, moving with your own breath. Let your arms come back down and hang toward the floor. Bring your hands to your shins. On an inhale, lift halfway, extend through the crown of the head, pull the shoulders down toward the butt. Exhale to fold. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold. One more time, inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend in the knees, inhale to start to roll up. Stack one vertebrae on top of the other. Slowly, slowly, slowly come up. Head and shoulders are the last things to rise. At the top, roll your shoulders up to your ears and back on the inhale. Exhale them down. 2 more times, front to back. Let's go the opposite way. Inhale back, up and forward. Exhale down and around. Good. Land with your palms facing forward. Strong mountain pose here. Engage through the legs and tuck the pelvis, the tailbone under and forward so you're not standing with your weight dumped into your lower back. Squeeze the glutes. Pelvis should tilt under and neutralize the spine all the way down. So keep that neutral position, soft bend in the knees, palms forward, shoulder blades together. Stand tall, lengthen up through the crown of your head, grow toward the ceiling. And take a few cycles of breath here, just feeling that engagement through the legs, that length through the spine. On an inhale, sweep your arms out and up to the ceiling, palms connect overhead. Exhale, palms to heart center. Interlace your fingers with your index fingers pointing up for steeple mudra, the thumbs crossed. Keep those feet grounded into the floor. Soft bend in the knees, engaged glutes so your back is nice and straight. Inhale the arms up overhead. Then we're going to exhale, reach up and over to the right, sending the hips out to the left. Inhale to come up through center. Exhale to the left. Continue to move with your breath side to side. Inhaling through center. Exhaling to the right. Find length through the spine on each inhale. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right and hold this time. You can release that steeple mudra and bring that right arm down to the leg if you'd like a little support here. Just really reaching through those left fingertips, keeping the shoulder open, not rounded forward. Keep the glutes engaged. Inhale to come up. Exhale to the left and hold. sweep both arms up. Exhale the hands out and down. Bring your palms, the base of your palms to your lower back with your fingers down on top of your butt. Feet stay in the same position, so about hip width distance apart. Squeeze the glutes, hug the shoulder blades and elbows toward each other. Take a breath in, grow nice and tall. Exhale to shift the hips forward, slowly start to round back. Keep the glutes engaged. Let your gaze drop to the ceiling or the wall behind you. One more breath. Exhale to round it all the way forward. Let the hands slide down the back of the legs and find the mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up. Exhale the arms out and down. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, palms together at the heart center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan dive all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, keep the right foot where it is, step the left foot to the back of the mat. Landing in a lunge position with the legs here. If you need to lower the back knee to the mat, you may. If you'd like to keep it lifted, that's fine too. Either way, come up onto your fingertips or the blocks if you're using them. Find some stability through the hips, squeeze the glutes, plug that front hip back in space. On an inhale, sweep the arms up to the ceiling, palms face each other, pinkies rotated in. Exhale, cactus the arms down, deepen into that lunge. So if you're on the back knee, it means you're shifting the hips forward slightly and deepening. If you're elevated, same thing without bending the knee of that back leg. Just intensifying the hip stretch on the left side. Squeezing the glutes. One more cycle, inhaling up. Exhale, cactus the arms down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Shift the shoulders forward. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a bend at the knees, look between the hands, and then take a walk to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come up. Exhale the hands out and down. Moving on to the left side. 3 sun salutations first. Inhale up. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive it down. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, arms out and down. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. Exhale it all the way down. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse, come up. Exhale, arms out and down. One more cycle through, inhale up. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale it up. Swan dive it down. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold, hands come to the mat. Left foot stays planted, right foot steps back. Landing in that lunge position, adjusting the back knee as needed. Come up onto the fingertips, find stability through the hips. Squeeze the glutes, plug that left hip into place. Inhale to sweep the arms up. Exhale, cactus down, deepen into the lunge. Inhale up. Exhale down. Keep squeezing the glutes to get the most out of the hip stretch. 2 more cycles. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, hands down. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Exhale down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale the up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Again, inhale. Sigh it out. Bend the knees, look between the hands. Inhale and step to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring the big toes together, so heel toe the feet in toward the center. Keep the heels slightly separated, an inch or 2 in between. Grow nice and tall, engage through the glutes so your pelvic tilt is corrected. Wrists parallel to the elbows, hands at the heart center. Take a breath in and grow through the spine. Exhale to sit down into chair. Keeping the chest lifted, seat back and down. Squeeze the knees toward each other for stability. Or if you like your feet a little bit more separated in your chair, you can squeeze a block between your legs for some engagement. 3 more breaths here. Take an inhale. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath in. Exhale, sit down into your chair. Inhale here. Exhale, we're twisting to the right, keeping the knees right by each other's side. So don't let that right knee drop back in space. Hooking the left elbow just outside the right knee, staying low in your chair, hands connected at the heart center. Two more breaths here. Take an inhale to come back through center. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath in. Exhale to chair. Inhale at center. Exhale to twist to the left. Keep the knees parallel to each other. Hands stay at heart center. Sit deep into that twist. Two more breaths. Inhale, come through center. Exhale to fold it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up. Exhale the arms out and down. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale it up, slight back bend. Exhale, swan dive all the way down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your high plank. Inhale, shift the shoulders forward. Exhale, bend at the elbows, lower all the way down onto your belly. Keep the hands planted, take a bend in the knees, and just windshield wiper your feet side to side. Just loosening up through those muscles of the hips. Bring your feet back down to the mat. On an inhale, press through your hands, straighten the arms, come to cobra or upward dog. Exhale, knees down to the mat, shift the hips all the way back to child's pose. Knees together or out wide, big toes touching either way. In your child's pose, come up onto your fingertips and then walk your fingertips in toward the center of the mat until your hands meet. Connect your palms in a prayer position, elbows down to the mat. On an inhale, press your palms together and let them extend back, pointing downward from the back of your neck. You should start to feel a little stretch through the underside of the armpits and the shoulders here. You can walk the elbows forward slightly to feel a little bit more, or you can elevate the elbows on blocks to feel even more. Settle into this version of child's pose with the prayer. Breathe into the stretch. Two more breaths here. Let your palms come back down to the mat. Separate your arms to shoulder width distance. On an inhale, come back up to a tabletop position. And then restack your limbs. Knees below the hips, toes tucked under, wrists below the shoulders. Take a couple breaths in, cycles of breath here in a neutral spine. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep the hands grounded. On an inhale, send the right leg back in space. You can point through the toes. Keep the leg parallel to the rest of the body, so we're not lifting up super high. Keep the hips level. Take an inhale here, this extended position. Exhale around through the spine. Pull that knee forward to your chest. Pressing through the hands. Inhale to extend it straight back. Exhale around and forward. One more time through. This time in the rounded position, step that foot in between your hands. Walk your hands up to that front thigh. Find some stability through the hips. So again, plug that right hip back in space. Squeeze the butt. Inhale to sweep the arms up. Exhale, palms connect at heart center. Twist over to the right. Hook that left elbow just outside the right knee. Hands stay connected at the heart. Take your gaze out toward the ceiling for twisting low lunge. If you'd like to add on to this twisting prayer lunge, you can tuck those back toes under and float that knee off the mat. I'm going to stay right here in this grounded position. Wherever you are, find some deepening through the hips. Really get into that hip stretch on the left side. Squeeze the butt. Keep pressing through the elbow, deepening the twist. Only ever going as far as some slight discomfort, but never into pain territory. There's the fine line between the two, but you know in your own body what's right for you and what is not. On an inhale, rotate back through center, unhook that elbow. Exhale the hands back down to the mat. Now if you have some blocks handy, we're going to work on the hamstrings a little bit here. So grab your blocks, stack them below your shoulders with your hands elevated on the blocks at the highest setting. If not, just fingertips to the mat is just fine. And then you're going to step that right foot forward about a footprint or so. Now on an inhale, we're going to deepen into this lunge. As you exhale, send the hips back, straighten that right leg. Keep the spine long, and then hinge from the hips, letting your chest drop down toward your front shin. You should be feeling a pretty juicy stretch through the hamstring, maybe a little bit through the calf. Inhale to come back forward. Exhale to shift it back. Move with your breath for a few cycles, and then if you'd like to pause for a few breaths on each end of this, you're more than welcome to. If you're trying to train a front split, you have a few more breaths to play here, so you can deepen into that front lunge, hips forward, and then creep that front foot a little bit farther forward to your comfort level. From that extended position, also still shifting the hips back, getting the hamstring stretch for a few breaths. Both the hamstrings, the hip flexors, all of the hamstrings, hip flexors, and quadriceps need to be in a relaxed, extended position to fully get into a split. I cannot do it yet, but it is something I'm working on too. About 3 more cycles of breath to work with whatever you're working with here. On an inhale, rebend into that knee. Set your blocks off to the side, bring your hands back down below the shoulders, and then just slide that right foot back until your knee connects with the mat again in a tabletop position. Moving on to the left side, stack the limbs, ground out through the hands. Inhale, just send that left leg back and hold for a couple breaths before we add on. Again, keep the hips level, don't let your left hip open out to the side. Really finding length through that leg, length from the toes all the way up to the crown of the head. Inhale here, exhale to round it forward. Inhale it back, exhale it forward. Inhale back, exhale it forward. Create some space and then step that foot through. Again, find some stability, come up to your fingertips, engage through the hips and the glutes. When you're ready, inhale to sweep the arms up, connect the palms. Exhale, hands to heart, twisting to the left this time. Hook that right elbow just outside the left knee. Keep the glutes engaged, deepen into that lunge. Hands stay connected at the heart center. Finding length through the spine, letting your gaze come up toward the ceiling or the wall behind you. Two more cycles of breath. Inhale to come back through center. Again, grab the blocks if you're using them, otherwise fingertips to the mat or the top of the front leg. And we're going to step that left foot forward a footprint or so. Okay, readjust the back knee if you need to. Inhale, shift the hips forward, blocks are below the shoulders. Exhale, send the hips back, straighten the leg, chest comes down toward the shin. Moving with the breath for a few cycles. And then again, if you want to pause for a few breaths on either end of this, just to deepen that stretch, really feel it on each end, go for it. If you're working on training your front split or maybe an arm balance on the other side, you can start to move into that for a few breaths. Just explore what this side feels like. Finish up your exploration on this side, and then rebend into that left knee, slide the foot back a little bit, set those blocks off to the side, hands come to the mat, slide that left foot back, knees to the mat, big toes together, feet out, knees out wide this time. Send your hips back to your heels, forehead down to the mat for child's pose, wide-legged. Really let your chest drop toward the floor, opening up that space through the shoulders and the armpits. Noticing what you're feeling through the hips after that hamstring and hip work. mouth, exhale. On an inhale, slowly rise up to a tabletop position. And sit your hips off to one side. We're going to take a seat at the top of our mats with our feet about hip-width distance apart, heels close to the glutes. Reach your arms forward, palms face each other. Sit up nice and tall. Take a breath in. Exhale to roll down onto your back as slowly as you can, one vertebrae at a time. Try to keep the feet grounded. Once you're down, arms come down by your sides. Walk your heels in close to your glutes. Spread the toes, grip your mat. On an inhale, scoop that tailbone up off the floor first. Then press through the heels, extend your hips up to the ceiling for bridge. You can walk your shoulder blades below your body to expand through the chest a little bit here. And see if you can let your chin drop back away from your chest. Lift the hips enough so that your chest is guided closer to your chin. Really pressing through the heels. Getting as much glute activation here as you can, as much hip extension as you can. Maybe you grip the sides of your mat for a little support here. Maybe if you have the shoulder mobility, you can interlace the fingers below the body and press down into the mat with the hands. Stay engaged. A few more breaths here. On your next exhale, let your spine roll back down onto the mat. Heel toe the feet out to the edges of the mat, and then windshield wiper your knees side to side a few times. Come back to center. Keep your feet where they are and let your knees drop in toward the center of your mat. Once your knees are connected, you can heel toe the feet out just a little bit farther. Notice where you're feeling this stretch. It can be kind of a radial thing. I feel it a lot around my knee joints, but a little bit up through the hips too. Here. See if you can let those muscles relax. Good, let your knees separate again. Heel toe the feet back into hip-width distance or so. From here, bring your knees up to your chest, give yourself a little squeeze, and then you can take some little hip circles to massage out the lower back. Then maybe come back onto your back and make some big circles with the knees, guiding them with your hands. Go in one direction for 3 or 4, and then switch directions, moving with your breath. That half of all yoga farts are just mats making noises under our backs. back into your chest. Reach the arms between the legs, grab the opposite edges of the feet, and then draw the knees down towards your armpits for happy baby. From here, take whatever kind of movement or variation that makes your baby happy. Come back to center, draw those knees back into the chest for another little squeeze. And then you have a couple minutes here. If there's anything else that's calling to you to finish out your practice for the day, you can take those couple of minutes to explore. Maybe just move a little bit more and play. If you're ready for Shavasana, you can extend your arms and legs and come down into that resting posture. Just give your body whatever else you think it needs for the day. We've worked a lot on twists, opening space through the back and the hips and the hamstrings today, all of which are parts of the body where we unconsciously hold on to a lot of emotion. So you can also just take some time to acknowledge the fact that you've opened up some space for those emotions to move through you, for you to let go of them if you're ready to. Make more space in the body for something new that's going to serve a greater purpose to you. And know that whatever's come up for you in your practice today is okay. Even if it's nothing, that's okay too. It's all part of the process of yoga to be more in connection with our body, more in synchronization with what is happening, and more intentional about how we move through the world. When we give our bodies this type of attention, it is normal for things to come up. Just as with meditation, it's not about clearing the mind or emptying your head of thoughts. It's about acknowledging the thoughts as they come up, or feelings, and practicing some non-attachment. So acknowledging them, holding space for them, and then letting go. Easier said than done, I know. Necessary. Take another 30 seconds or so to round out your practice. And then when you're ready, make your way into your final resting posture, legs extended, feet dropping out to the side naturally. Arms can be down by the sides, or you can reconnect with your breath, placing a hand over your heart and one over your belly. Just whatever posture feels most restful to you. Follow a big wave of relaxation, of softening from the crown of your head, down through the muscles of the forehead and the face, relaxing the jaw, the back of the throat, the shoulders, the neck, letting your back soften into the floor, letting go of tension in the glutes, softening down through the arms and the legs, all the way up through the fingers and toes. Just fully relaxed, completely still. Take these few moments to reset before moving through the rest of your day. resting for a while longer, please stay just as you are. Let my voice fade into the background. If you're ready to come back, start by deepening your breath. Invite some small movements back into your fingers and toes. Gently rolling out through the wrists and the ankles. Maybe let your gaze drop to one side and then the other. On an inhale, point through the toes, reach through the hands to give a full body stretch. And as you exhale, roll over to your favorite side. Pause for a few breaths. Give yourself a moment of gratitude for showing up and practicing today. Allowing your eyes to stay closed. Use your top hand to guide yourself up to a comfortable seat on your mat. And then connect your palms at your heart center. We'll close our practice today by synchronizing our heartbeats one final time with a collective breath. Inhaling through the nose. And let it go. Thank you for allowing me to share your practice today. May you go forward knowing your own worthiness of love, fulfillment, success, and joy. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for Slow Flow Yoga. If you enjoyed this class, please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share so that I can spread the word and reach more people. I appreciate you all, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.